Hi, this is Dan, and I wanted to start putting some videos together that discussed things that I really wish people had told me a long time ago. And it would have made things a lot easier for me, and if I can help anybody else with this, uh, that'd be great. I'd love to do what I can. Um, I'm not saying that these things are set in stone, but they've frequently proven useful, and I think that if anything, like even if you do know some of these things, they may be good to hear affirmed again. And I also think that if you disagree with some of these things, then we can probably have some pretty comfortable and polite conversation about it, and talk about where things don't match up. But these aren't like set in stone. I'm not trying to be dogmatic about it. Just some basics. So to start, I'm going to just really kind of pitch a softball here and say, take vacations. Uh, Vacations are really important, and it's funny. Like, there are some people who have like no trouble at all. They get their vacations plan figured out. They take it. They feel great about it. And there are other people who just always are busy and they kind of really can't get to it. Um, Kind of no matter where you are in an organization, getting time to take vacation is super important. If you're a business owner, it's super important to take a vacation. If you're an engineer or just a regular member of the team, it's super important. If you're a manager, it's super important. And the reason it's important is because when you took this job, you had specific ideas about like what you wanted out of it and what you wanted out of your career and what you wanted out of life. And as we get more and more involved in our duties and our responsibilities and our activities, we start becoming defined more by what we're doing there than we were when we kind of came in the door. And it's really easy to lose touch with the person that wanted to get the job in the first place. When you take a vacation, you get a chance to unplug. And I'm talking about like a real vacation, like, drinks on the beach or going and visiting family or whatever, or a road trip. I'm not talking about, I'm on vacation, so I'm going to code a pet project. Like, those are great. You can do that if you want. If you've got an itch that you want to scratch, that's cool, but this isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting a chance to step away and decompress. And as you do, thoughts are going to come up. And they're going to be things like, I just had an insight about something. And you may be driving. You may be having a drink on the beach or whatever, but like these things will just kind of bubble up every once in a while. There's a meditative aspect of it. And frequently you're going to come home with some insights. And those insights can be really important in either helping you identify what's important with the job that you have, or what things could be better, or what's not good. And I think it's really important to be able to check in with that person who took the job in the first place and reconnect with them. So that's the first part. The next part is how vacation is structured. And commonly what happens is, traditionally there was accrued vacation. So you work for a year, and over the course of the year you accrue 2 or 3 weeks of vacation, and then you can spend that. The things that end up happening the convention these days has been to move to like either an unlimited vacation plan or open PTO. And we had an HR manager who came to Black Pixel and was like, we should totally do unlimited vacation. And this is a nit, but I was like, we're not calling it unlimited vacation because unless we're okay with somebody taking a whole year off and paying them for it, like we can call it open PTO or something like that, but unlimited is clearly bullshit. We're not doing that. But the idea basically was you take the time you need to take. If you need a day, you take a day. If you need to take 2 weeks, you take 2 weeks or whatever, and that's fine. The reason though that companies are motivated to do this is because if you're not accruing vacation, when you leave the company, they don't owe you anything for it. Accrued vacation counts as compensation. And if you leave a company and you have any unused vacation time, they have to pay you for that. And so it's, a brilliant way to save money by bilking people out of their vacation time. I never liked that. And I was kind of fine with whatever we wanted to do. We moved to open PTO, and honestly, a lot of people were not happy. Some people loved it because being able to just take a day or whatever is fine. But a lot of people had difficulty taking the time, and they actually complained that they said when we had accrual, I knew that was mine. I got to spend it. And with open PTO, I don't really feel like I have the same sort of certainty about it. The other thing about open PTO is what most of the people who espouse these plans know is that by and large people will take less vacation because it's not accrued. They don't have it accrued, and so they tend to take less vacation time, and so it's a great win in terms of like being a capitalist, in the sense that you have people working more. You don't owe them anything when they leave, and there's some people, like I said at the beginning, who have no trouble at all just booking their time and taking it, but they tend to be in the minority. You also end up with people that can abuse open PTO, and they get flushed out pretty quickly. It kind of shows up. We actually switched back to accrued vacation. We lost a couple of people because they felt like the company had changed in some diabolical way. We actually had taken a step that was worse for us because we were then again accruing debt for people, but it had come about because we just basically talked to everybody in the company and said, "What do you want?" And we collected the results, and more people wanted accrued, so we went back to that. I was kind of willing to do both, but there's just a point where it gets to be a lot to track lots of different types of vacation time. A couple of things that you can do to help yourself when you're on vacation. These are basic, but if you're going to take vacation and you planned it in advance, don't tell people I'm taking vacation in 6 months, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, and then never say anything again. Like 3 months out, tell people, by the way, remember I'm going to be, I've got a vacation coming up in 3 months. The next month, say, by the way, I'm going to be taking vacation in 2 months. Just remind people, and then 2 weeks, and I'm taking vacation next week, and just do that, because although there's supposed to be a vacation calendar and everybody's supposed to be tracking it, the fact of the matter is a lot of times people are too busy and they don't, and so there'll be invariably you plan this months in advance, and suddenly while you're in the process of packing, it's like we have to ship. This is the week we're shipping or something like that, and nobody's head is in the space that you're leaving, and so when you drop the bomb on them, it puts them in a position, because they approved the vacation, they were supposed to know about it, but now they don't have, they've got to scramble to try and figure out how they're going to take care of things. If you keep reminding people, then they can plan for it. So the one way to make things easier for you is to politely remind people that this is coming. Another thing that you can do to make this easier for you is to take your laptop. Okay, now, just to be clear, the point is, no one wants you to have to use your laptop. No one wants to call you. No one wants you to be bothered. They want you to be, drinking rum on the beach or whatever. However, if there is a problem, they may need to contact you and ask you for some tips on how to deal with things. We had this happen. We had a senior developer actually take off, and they were going to completely unplug, and they didn't take their laptop. And of course, shit blew up as soon as they left. And we did not want to bother them. We figured out who was going to try and deal with the problem, but there was a lot there, and so we kind of reached the point where it was like, if we tell you what's going on, can you at least take a look at the code and tell us where to look, and we'll go from there. And he said, well, I can't because I didn't bring my laptop. And it's like, okay, you just made things a lot harder for the people who are trying to support you. Like I said, we don't want you to fix the problem. We don't want you to like be imposed on really at all if we can help it. But if you can give the person who's helping you any kind of pointers at all, like 10 minutes worth of your time, then you can get back to getting stewed on the beach, and your friends will take care of it for you. So these are like not meant to be an imposition. It's just meant to like be prepared so that you can relax and have a good time. When I was a CEO, I didn't take as much vacation as I should have, and I really wish that I had. But when I did, Bill and George, who were two of my partners, basically had an agreement that like both of them had to agree that it was dire enough to pick up the phone and call me, and they really never did. Like usually things were like, this can wait, or one person would be like, oh, we should call Dan, and the other person would be like, no, this can wait, or we can deal with it, or let's figure it out, and then, you know, if it's really an emergency, then we'll call him. And I think that is like how I would want everybody to be treated. Like, your vacation time is important, and it's important for you. It helps you come back fresher and ready to dig into things. It helps you come back with more certainty about like what you should be doing or what you want to be doing, and that time is important, and you've earned it. So people should be trying to protect it. I think that's about it. I've got a whole bunch of other things I want to talk about, but this seems like a pretty lightweight way to start. And I will talk to you again soon, I hope.